Even though the WNBA All-Star Game is still a few days away, there has already been enough drama in the build-up to fuel a whole basketball wives season. The internet and the world of women's basketball are constantly buzzing. In anticipation of All-Star Weekend, the women of the WNBA are having a great time. Sabrina Ionescu, a point guard for the New York Liberty, recently lit up the internet with her hilarious response to the news that Caitlin Clark was conducting the first ever trade coach in the history of both the WNBA and American basketball in general. You won't believe what ICU said to one of the coaches who were traded during a post-trade press conference.
Coach, you may have been involved in the first ever coach trade of any All-Star game ever. Just want to get your thoughts on that in your mind. First for you, Leo.
They announced it? Yeah. That you got traded? Yeah. Oh, I gotta go look at all that. Traded? I have no idea what the teams are.
In order to select the players who would represent their respective teams live on ESPN last Tuesday night, the top 2 All-Star vote scorers, who are also the team captains for the All-Star Game, held a draft. Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever and Nafisa Collier of the Minnesota Lynx, the captains of teams Clark and Collier, gathered the best players in the women's sport and divided them among themselves. And aside from one intriguing twist, their selections were largely predictable.
We have breaking news here. I don't know that I've heard of a coach being traded in the All-Star Game. This is something you're agreeing to.
Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell were 2 of Clark's Indiana Fever teammates who qualified for the All-Star Game. It appeared to be fair, as both captains were happy with their selections from the starters to the reserves, even though Keir selected her former University of Connecticut teammate Breanna Stewart and her Lynx teammate Courtney Williams. The captain's decision to trade coaches, which were still unsure was even allowed, was the most notable aspect of the All-Star Game draft though. She didn't only select teammates. By replacing head coach Cheryl Reeve with Sandy Brondello, she completely changed the course of the game. She immediately revised the All-Star rulebook. In order to rejoin with her 2, Nafisa Collier and Courtney Williams, Clark's transfer sent Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve to Team Collier. Even though having Keir play under her regular coach gives Team Keir an additional advantage in camaraderie, Clark was quite happy with the deal that gave her Liberty coach Sandy Brondello. Coach Sandy Brondello lost her player, Breanna Stewart, as a result of the deal, but she was reunited with Sabrina Ionescu.
Hey, Brondello, come on over.
Whoa!
Let's get to it. You can coach Sabrina. So therefore, maybe Stewie wants to come on over to my team.
Whoa!
Let me know. B, you want to give me Stewie?
Speaking of Sabrina, Ionescu's 28-point performance was a major factor in the New York Liberty's victory over the Las Vegas Aces last week.
Real blank spaces that need to be filled. Thievish gets free, lays it in, and the foul again. Ionescu.
The news of the All-Star trade was entertaining for Ionescu and her coach, Sandy Brondello. You may have been involved in the very first coach trade ever, a journalist asked Brondello during the press conference that followed. I simply want to know what you think about that. Second time in history? Yeah, first as a player and now as a coach, and I got traded. Yes, my son hit me up, Brondello retorted. I've made history. This is fantastic. Sabrina laughed at her response and jokingly said, "You can't get away from me."
Coach, you may have been involved in the first ever coach trade of any All-Star game ever. Just want to get your thoughts on that in your mind. First for you, Leo.
They announced it? Yeah. That you got traded? Yeah. Oh, I gotta go look at all that. Traded? I have no idea what the teams are.
Second time in history now. Geez, as a player. And I got traded, yes. My son hit me up after he goes, I've created history. This is awesome. I got traded as a coach. But look, I get to coach with Sabrina. I'm on Caitlin Clark's in Indianapolis. I mean, what a great show. So we'll go out there and have some fun.
The internet erupted. Although it was a humorous moment, it also had a lot to say. Sabrina enjoys performing for Brondello. As players and coaches, they get along well, and we've all seen her develop into one of the most productive shooters in the league, setting records and helping the Liberty win crucial games.
There's at the beginning of their prime, Ionescu. Oh my! A logo bomb from Sabrina.
Ionescu's remark that, "You can't escape me," was almost like a Marvel villain Thanos' famous statement, "I am inevitable." This time, however, it is a promise of another victory for the two, rather than a threat to wipe off half of humanity. Collier's squad has a serious issue now that Caitlin is included in the mix. One extremely risky and challenging squad to defeat. But why did Caitlin Clark act in this way? Was it a light-hearted joke or a direct message to the Indiana Fever, her current team? What does her future in the league stand to gain from this audacious move? This could simply be an example of how strong Caitlin Clark has grown in her role as the WNBA spokesperson in just her second season. Perhaps she simply wanted to perform under Sandy Brondello. In addition, Brondello is more than just the cool coach in New York with a hilarious Australian coach, in case you are unaware of her excellence. She has led the Liberty to consecutive finals and is a WNBA champion. An Olympic medalist with an insane basketball IQ who was a player before becoming a coach. More significantly, her coaching approach is specifically designed for celebrities like Caitlin Clark. She liked to let guards cook under Brondello's playing strategy. The mechanism is actually designed to give shooters room to fire. You would also be aware of how much Caitlin Clark adores her logo threes if you knew anything about her. She spends days shooting from downtown.
Better looking possessions of the day for Brazil. Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo!
Brondello permits more than just shooters to fire. She also allows leaders to lead and creators to create. In essence, she hands Caitlin the car's keys. Caitlin Clark is renowned for her ability to flourish in systems that prioritize spread, pick and roll, and fast-paced defenses, such as the one she operated while attending Iowa.
Clark, there she goes again. Yes!
Over the years, CC has demonstrated that she frequently performs exceptionally well with the ball in her hands, creating space with screens, attacking the rim, pulling up from deep, or making precise passes. Caitlin hasn't performed as well in rigid systems with frequent off-ball moves and red-based reflexes during her 2 seasons in the Pro League. Her freedom is often restricted by these kinds of plays. Sandy Brondello and the New York Liberty can help with that. She is renowned for using a clever combination of defensive intensity, pick and roll inventiveness, motion concepts, and 5-out spacing.
Yep. How's she doing? Yeah, full go today. So that's great. Like I said, we escaped it and she feels good. I was surprised that she's this good that get in, but she went the whole time today. It's great to have her back out.
In order to create driving lanes and space, Brondello's contemporary 5-out system maintains all 5 players on the outside. This method works well to compel opponents to make a commitment. In her coaching approach, Brondello also places a strong emphasis on mobility. She pushes her players to let the ball and players move until the defense yields an edge, encouraging them to give up decent shots in order to make fantastic ones. The final aspect of Brondello's strategy that significantly benefits Clark and Ionescu is the incorporation of the pick and roll. By utilizing her guard's judgment, Brondello deftly combines opportunities for explosive pick and roll with planned sets like hammer actions and sideline out of bounds. Given everything, it's not shocking that Clark chose to demand a trade in a manner reminiscent of LeBron James. She wasn't merely assembling her crew for a single evening. She was showing the world a glimpse of her dream work environment. Sabrina has been trained by Sandy Brondello since 2022, and the two have had tremendous success in New York. They both won the championship last year and advanced to the WNBA Finals in 2023. With a 13-6 record, the Liberty are currently tied with Coach Brondello's former team, the Phoenix Mercury, for the second-best record in the league. It will be entertaining to watch the 2 best shooters in the women's game, Clark and Ionescu, play together. Additionally, Ionescu and Brondello are probably going to give us some amazing moments. The trade-off and Brondello's coaching approach will help more than just Clark. 2 ball-dominant guards like Ionescu and Caitlin Clark might fight for control in a typical all-star game.
I know. Congratulations.
So happy.
However, Brondello's offensive style would prevent this from happening. The ball will choose the best choice because of the continuous ball movement and the shooting skills of both players. They are both able to steer clear of each other's toes. On this team, Sabrina doesn't have to be the leader. She can score off the dribble, come off pin-down screens, or run pick-and-rolls from the wing, making her an ideal combo guard for Clark. And yet another justification for Clark's decision to make the transaction.
Collier and Thomas, who were Olympic teammates, banging it down low.
The coach swap was noisy, and some may even call it petty. The entire league received a message from it. I want to play in a system like this, and I need a coach like him. Numerous reporters have also noted that the deal was a subliminal warning to Stephanie White, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, as well as a shot at her longtime adversary, Cheryl Reeve. White's coaching choices have drawn criticism and controversy on multiple occasions because she made Clark play off-ball while caught in awkward lineups, which significantly reduced her shot volume and effectiveness. On July 19th, Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indiana will host the much-awaited All-Star Game. Caitlin Clark should benefit further by the game being held in Indianapolis, as the Fever supporters are eager to witness Clark's home advantage performance. Clark is back in action and has played roughly 28 minutes for the Fever despite being sidelined for weeks and missing 5 games due to a group ailment.
Extra feed Clark, a deep three. You bet!
The WNBA version should be much more entertaining than the NBA All-Star Game, which has collapsed due to players' lack of effort, which has greatly angered the fans.
The USA Women's National Team, they treated that shoot-around like a normal scout. This is not your normal All-Star exhibition.
Who do you think will win the All-Star Game? Is it the team of Cheryl Reeve and Nafisa Collier, or Clark, Ionescu, and Brondello? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Remember to subscribe and like.